Okay, so everybody asked me about this crazy building that we have leased over here in Dunnellon. And what's the story behind it? It definitely stands out. Obviously, it's at an incredibly busy corner considering Dunnellon is a fairly small town. But if you look, there's this little Pure Oil Company patent on the door, right? Okay, so this building is very similar to many buildings that were created by the Pure Oil Gas Company in the 1920s and 1930s. And what it was is because of the Industrial Revolution, nobody had cars, but all of a sudden everybody had or wanted or was driving a car. Well, great, except for that means that they need gas, right? So all these gas stations were popping up all over and everybody was complaining because they didn't like how the gas stations looked in their neighborhoods and in their small towns. So the Pure Oil Gas Station Company, the CEO, he hired an architect to build a gas station that was aesthetically pleasing, that looked like a little English cottage, if you will. That's exactly what that was. And he asked for these, this design to be patented so that other gas station companies couldn't steal his design. Lo and behold, he created it. So this was a gas station of similar ones throughout the United States that was created in 1931. And you can find them throughout the United States, but unfortunately many of the buildings, although absolutely beautiful with some really great details, like this hobbit looking door here, this beautiful window that's actually copper, all of those great designs. But most of the buildings, they've kind of fallen into disrepair or have been demolished. They've just kind of disappeared. So there's very few that you can find throughout the United States. And there's some people that will actually travel around trying to find these little Pure Oil gas stations from the 1920s and 30s to see what they are today, what they look like now. For us, we're trying to bring it back as much as possible to its original look. Obviously, we've added a few things. Some of the crates, you can see that I love that aesthetic. The pallet boards, that's obviously more modern. We also did take down the paneling that was all over the place, went to white brick. That door, actually, we did not even realize was there when we started in here. It was behind the paneling. Just this really thin, kind of ugly painted paneling. We've gone to a much more modern floor, but just different touches all over. So this is actually where my office is. This right here was kind of a breezeway. Obviously, we're still working on it. Here's some of that paneling. It's just kind of, but this breezeway actually was not open, or was not closed off. This was the way that you would come in from the bus station, or the buses, and then this is like the waiting area for the bus depot. So my office is actually a bus depot from 1931. Go figure. Then this actually was the main office, and actually they had for a while a confectionery shop. So this was a candy shop as part of the gas station. So it was like a really big deal to go to the gas station at the time. Very unique. At one point, they did go ahead and turn this section into a apartment, but prior to that, what's going to be our conference room, which is a total disaster right now, that was actually where the oil changes were done. And then there's a whole nother section out there. I don't want to show you, it really is a mess right now. That whole other section was actually the car wash. So depending on what office portion you're in my office over here, you would basically in 1931 have gotten your car oil changed, gotten the car washed, gotten gas, which is now a planter. That's where the pumps were out there. Or you could have been waiting for a bus at 2 o'clock in the morning. Of course, it's definitely changed a lot since then. Now we've got, lovely bathrooms and, really nice modern kitchen area. And it's just a really great office. It would look a lot better once we're finished with it, but I don't know that we'll ever be truly finished with it. Crown molding would be nice to be put up, though. I gotta talk to my husband about that.